So there's a run out there in the Madden community that completely destroys the zero blitz meta. And I know that this is something that probably intrigues you guys. So on the other side of the intro, we're going to get into exactly what this run is and why it's in a playbook that might be pretty solid to counter this specific meta. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Zam from the Zamman YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a run that is very, very annoying against the zero blitz meta. And I think that a lot of you guys will appreciate this one. Although this one's a little bit playbook specific, I think that the playbook itself is very, very good against the zero blitz meta because it provides a lot of option potential for you, a lot of screen passes, kind of that spread RPO style that actually has had a lot of success against the cover zero meta early in the year. For those that don't know, a lot of screen passes are good this year. And if you guys have option style runs, this can do really well for you against the zero blitz meta because you can basically leave one of those zero blitzers unblocked, option off of them, make the correct read, and be able to scamper upfield while the receivers run off the defensive backs that are in man-to-man. So this is something that can kind of be annoying against that meta and create some problems for the defensive player. Now, the run that we're going to be taking a look at today is known as the quarterback wrap. Now, if you guys recall, a few years back, quarterback wrap was actually competitively banned. It's not going to be competitively banned this year, but there's a lot of the same elements of the quarterback wrap that was banned years back in this particular play, especially against the cover zero meta. So let's go ahead and get into it and explain exactly what this style of run is and why it's so effective. So the wrap is basically a quarterback run in which the tackle is going to lead out in front of him, and you're going to use the running back after a fake handoff to prevent any backside pursuit on this play. So as it pertains a lot of the zero blitz meta, you get a lot of this pinch and then somebody usering up here. What you're really looking for on this is for this tackle to pull in front of the quarterback and kick out somebody for us to be able to get upfield. And you see here that we can then follow our blocks downfield. If you can make a guy miss, then you're going to be able to pick up really, really big yards. Now, if you guys run this, be careful. You don't want to take needless hits with your quarterback. You might want to run this on conservative. But one of the big elements of this play that you guys are going to find is the fact that these wide receivers do a pretty good job of running the DBs downfield. And you see right here that this DB at safety is now turned running stride for stride with Ingram. And this guy gets off the jam and fakes like he's running a streak and then turns into a blocking assignment. So now the defender has to make a play from 15 plus yards downfield, which allows us to really get outside for a big gain. Now, this isn't the only zero blitz meta that this can be effective against. We can actually take a look at the 3-3 loop. I do think that the 3-3 loop is going to go away in the next title update in terms of the contains, but I think there still will remain some potential for our opponents to probably just leave the guys on the regular rush assignment. I have a feeling that's what a lot of those guys will end up doing. Nonetheless, you're still going to rely on this pulling tackle to get out in front and kick that guy outside, and then we're up the field following our blocks again here with Trevor Lawrence. So again, you see just how effective this can be at running off the deep not even the deep zones, the guys that are playing man-to-man. Again, because we have these runoff routes on both sides of the field. Now, what's really, really cool about this too is if your opponent is in a zero blitz, the safety is oftentimes on the backside in this, which means that they have to then really worry about us checking into, something quick, getting the ball out quickly to our running back in space. This is something a lot of players do, which makes your opponent have to make adjustments, maybe start to change some of their players into zone assignments. This is a little bit of a tougher solve due to the spacing of this offense. You also factor in a lot of things in this game in terms of screen passes. You will notice that other formations in this book do have some solid screens. So you start to work into more of the the RPO style or the jailbreak style of screen. You're going to find very, very quickly that you can mix up this run well. A lot of players are not going to be used to defending this style of game. And you guys are going to be able to throw these jailbreaks up the field and scamper for big yard potential. So, there are ideal ways to throw these with freeform as well. So you can actually lead your receiver upfield, but that's probably for another video. But in terms of the schematics of just kind of some cheap plays that can make your opponent at least have to adjust a little bit within their defensive scheme, I find that this is a very, very valuable asset to have, is this ability to turn your quarterback into a runner in your offense. You also factor in that when you're running the ball in a traditional style offense, the quarterback hands the ball to the running back. That's all his job is. So the running back, for all intents and purposes, only has 9 players that can block for them. When a quarterback is running the ball, you have 10 players that can block for you. So it just depends on what type of run call you are using. The other thing that's really interesting about some of these styles of runs is that you might find some read options every now and then where you might be able to kind of turn off the read key. So when you talk about some of these zero blitzes, you know, a lot of these guys want to, you know, come down mug gaps or loop or whatever. You can actually start to kind of fiddle around with motions that might be able to turn off a read key. So if you see right here, actually we can't do it with that particular motion, but there are read options in general in Madden that do allow you to do this. If you actually kind of see how when you do certain motions that read key will disappear briefly. This is something that you might want to learn how to start doing, because if you can kind of time your snap when it disappears, you're going to be able to actually block. And then you see right there, obviously right there, we would actually want to run the ball up the middle on that because the guy looped behind. But you get the gist. You can actually eliminate that read icon with a lot of motions in this. You could also, you know, use motion to, you know, help out with the quarterback wrap as well. Let's say that our opponent is in a zone call. Obviously, you wouldn't want to pull the defender into the box or towards the run side if they were in man-to-man. But in the event that you can get them into a zone call, you're going to see here that this allows us an extra player that we can then go ahead and quarterback wrap with. And you see here how we can get up the field and we spring some big blocks right there. Again, try not to take hits with your quarterback if you can avoid them, or if you're going to stay on your feet and maximize your yards on your feet, probably turn on conservative. Also keep in mind you still can fumble on conservative this year. But this is one of, at least pound for pound, the best runs in the game against the zero blitz meta because of the confusion up front that it creates. A lot of the flow, a lot of the guys follow the running back, and then the wide receivers are all running the DBs down the field, which gives you a lot of room to kind of pick and choose outside or inside. So I hope that you guys liked today's video. I haven't done a lot of running tutorials here on the channel so far, so I'm trying to keep a balanced approach to the types of content I'm providing. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below. As always, I want to see what you guys are thinking of these tips here on the channel. We'll see you guys right back here tomorrow with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.